Red flags and why we ignore them. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert and coach, here to teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high worth, high status woman that men find completely irresistible. So if you're up for that, do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, because you, my precious one, are my world, and I'll be out here in these YouTube streets bringing you all that good stuff. Okay, so make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every single time I upload a video. I've already done a video on this channel about identifying the red flags in a relationship, so you can go searching for it, or I'll put it somewhere in the description box or in card or whatever, but there is a video about identifying red flags. This video, however, is about why we don't do it. Why do we see red flags and ignore them? Now, one of the things that I need you to know, ladies, and if you follow me long enough, you will know that people show you who they are quite quickly, quite early on. A man will show you who he is very quickly, but because you are emotionally wanting something, maybe desperate because you've been single too long, or you're very attracted to him, you have a lot of chemistry towards him, it's easy for you to turn a blind eye and pretend as if you can't see what is in front of you. And this is a very dangerous position to take. It is very important that we enter into the dating and the dating phase of the relationship spectrum with eyes wide open, taking note of red flags. Now, red flags do show up, but it doesn't mean that those red flags mean that the relationship has to end. They're red flags for you to note so that you can find a strategy, some of them, that you will be able to cope or manage that red flag. A lot of us are finding ourselves in situations where the relationship has come to full bloom and those red flags are showing themselves up, and now we cannot go back. The best time to handle a red flag is not when it is now coming to full bloom and now you know that he is selfish or he is a liar, right? This is not the time when you realize that this man doesn't show love and care to people for you to now begin to deal with this relationship. These things show up early in the relationship. They show up in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in conversations, and that is the time that you need to be alert. What are the reasons why you are not paying attention to the red flags? Some of us are being held back by, number one, our age. We're feeling like we cannot afford to be picky. We cannot afford to be selective because we're running out of time. And so I'll overlook that, and I'll overlook that, and I'll overlook that. Some of us are starting to feel like, well, there are no good men out there, so I'm just going to have to settle for someone. That is reason number two. Reason number three is some of us just haven't worked on our self-worth and our self-esteem enough to be okay to say that is a red flag and I'm not ready to go any further with it. Whatever the case may be, angel, you cannot and must not ignore red flags under any situation whatsoever. You cannot afford it, because that is God's protection. That is God's amber warning light to say proceed with caution or stop and take a different turn. It is easier to deal with breaking away, walking away from a relationship in the early days than it is when you have created a connection. People will show you who they are very early. If you are me, I have a special gift of reading people like a book, right? And that used to really get on my nerves, because I would know instantly the kind of man that was before me. And then I would think, well, if I'm gonna literally keep my eyes open, I'll never find anybody to love me, because I would just see everything. So I would pretend as if I didn't see it. And guess what? Those relationships never did work. But the good thing is, when my fiance walked into my life, I was able to use that ability to read him, to see him, and actually say, yeah, this is a man with no guile. This is the kind of man that is not signaling me any red flags whatsoever. We have to keep our eyes and our ears open. We have to keep our spirits open. And we've got to be okay with what we are seeing. Life is not about trying to maneuver and manipulate something that we don't want to be the case to be the case. It's not about I don't like this, but I can change it. It's not about I can find a way to maneuver around this. Life is about saying, I don't have the ingredients to make the cake here. I don't have the butter. I don't have the cream. I don't have the sugar. I don't have the flour. So if I can't make a cake, if I'm being required to make a cake, then we need certain ingredients there. If I'm looking at the table of ingredients and what I need to make a cake is not present, maybe I have something to make a roast dinner, but there's nothing here to make a cake, and I want to make a cake, then it's okay for me to not try to turn beef into flour. Then it's okay for me to be okay saying, okay, you are a steak. I'm not making steak right now, but there's somebody out there who right now wants a good old steak. Go and be with that person. But for me, I want a cake, and I will wait for a cake, ingredients that make the kind of cake that I want. Life sometimes is about accepting that the person in front of you just cannot be for you what you need them to be. And the fact that you're getting older, the fact that you can't seem to find somebody, and the fact that you are lacking self-esteem won't change the fact that this person who is in front of you has too many red flags, or the kind of red flags that warn you to stay away. Ladies, it is not a man's responsibility to look out for you. It is not your responsibility to look out for a man. It is your responsibility to look out for yourself, to protect your heart, to protect your psychology. And that starts with being okay to acknowledge that you have some red flags in front of you, and that it's okay for you to call it a day. It's easier said than done. But high-value women are, by virtue, high-value women because they don't do what they feel. They do what is right for them. They don't consult their emotions to decide whether or not they will make long-term commitments. They consult the facts. They consult the truth. They consult the data. If you are to be high status and high worth and high value, you have to consult the data. You have to consult the data. You have to look at the facts being presented. And the Bible says, do not release love unless it permits. Allow yourself to be emotionally congruent. Allow yourself to really be somebody who has control over the emotional realm, who allows the data that is being given to them to decide whether they open their heart like a flower to the sun or keep it closed like a flower in darkness. And so I hope this video was motivational enough for you to put you first, to value yourself, and to truly walk and show up in this world as the high value woman that I know you are, Angel. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care of you and love you lots. Bye-bye.